Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in to Jamie TV. Unfortunately today you've caught me having a bit of a nightmare. In my last video I recorded some like future lo-fi sounding kind of drum thing with Ruismaker Noir, and that went pretty well, and so I got a little bit of time free today, not much, so I thought, you know what I'm going to do, I'm going to get in the studio and I'm going to get my Cigar Box guitar out and I'm just going to play along with that groove and just get some parts together for the next stage of this recording. And then I'll put some new strings on the Cigar Box guitar and leave it at that, and tomorrow I'll come in and start recording them properly. And so, you know, I got the Cigar Box guitar out, got the iPad on, got a sound, started looking for my glass slide. Now, this slide was actually missing for a few weeks and I thought it was gone forever, and I was kind of gutted because I've had it for a few years and the missus bought it me. And it's the only thing I've found that really works for me on the Cigar Box guitar. I've tried other things and you've never really been very happy. So I'm looking around for my slide, and then I found this. And then I found this. And then I found this. And a whole load of little pieces of glass. And I have no idea how it's happened. But it's obviously taken a dive, and I think it's hit the base. I've got this really old mic stand in here. I think it's hit the metal base of the mic stand and shattered. So now I'm determined to record this thing tomorrow, so I'm going to glue this. I'm going to glue, because with the coronavirus thing happening now, all my work is gone. So I really, although it's a fairly inexpensive item, I really just don't have any money to be ordering a new one with, and I want to get it done tomorrow anyway. So I'm going to glue this, and we'll keep calm and we'll carry on. Well, I think that take was more or less okay, apart from cutting myself on the broken glass slide, which is probably going to smart while I record the rest of it, but it won't kill me. I think the take was okay. It might not be perfect, but at this stage, for me, it's about getting really cool parts down for the track, and I can always come back later and replace anything that, you know, I think could do with being a little bit a bit tidier or whatever. But for now, I'm really enjoying this, so I'm just going to crack on and I'm going to see what else I can come up with. Okay, I kind of like that, but I feel after that section I just played in that we need some kind of a change in the piece, because I've just listened back, and the thing that I played as a introduction I think might make quite a nice melody to keep coming back to as like a main theme for the piece. And then the bit that I just played is more like a body, more like a, you know, the main body of the piece, like a verse part. But they're both on the same chord, so I feel like we need something that's on a different chord, a slightly different riff, a different feel maybe, to play before we go back to that main theme. Now I've just been messing about with the Cigar Box guitar, trying to, I'm going like this, I've put it over there, trying to come up with a bit of a riff, and it's not happening. I'm just not finding something that's really working for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into Noir now, and I'm going to reactivate the sequences. I'm going to have a little arse around in there and see if I can come up with a cool groove, some kind of a contrast, something that might inspire me to come up with the right riff. Right, now looking at Cubasis, what I have here so far is this. Here is where my intro part is, and then here's the main body of the tune so far, and then here from bar 26 is where I want to pick up with a new groove. And I've been having a play around with Noir, and what I've done is I've kept the kick the same. I've added in one more snare beat, which you can see here, and then let me just get rid of those. The hats, what I did was I changed the resolution and steps both to 16 to give me double the events across the sequencer. And then I just kind of played around with the hats, just messing about, just looking for a groove that I liked. And as soon as I kind of hit upon this pattern, I could feel, I mean, I've not played it yet, I've not used it, but I could feel a new riff coming on. So let's just have a listen to all those together. Right, so all I need to do now, hang on, I didn't want that, there we are. Right, so all I need to do now is I'm going to press record on all three drum parts, and let's get that. I only want 8 bars of it, let's get those 8 bars recorded in there. Let's just trim that off. There we are. Right, so now I can go and deactivate the sequencer again in Noir. And there we have a new groove. Okay, let's get the Cigar Box guitar back on. Alright, so now I've got that bit done, I'm gonna have the introduction part come back in as a main melody part for the piece, but for twice as long, and see if I can, in the second half, expand upon that melody. Alright, so that's pretty awesome. I've got down all the parts I needed for the Cigar Box guitar, and that was pretty painless. I think I've got some cool parts together. I was thinking that I might have a section where I played like a solo on the Cigar Box guitar, but you know, I'm not feeling it. I think that we're just gonna kind of have it kind of as a Cigar Box romp, and see what we can do by bringing in other instruments, probably mostly real audio instruments I think for this one, but we'll see how we go. You never know, I might change my mind along the way. But so I'm going to bring this video to a close pretty soon, but before I go, I just want to show you how I'm getting the sound that you're hearing for the Cigar Box guitar, because it's not fixed yet, but I'm just using that sound kind of so that while I'm playing it in, I'm really I'm enjoying a sound. I'm getting a sound that, you know, just makes me feel good about playing the Cigar Box guitar. I'm using the PSA1000 Jnr from Nembrini. Let me show you here. So the PSA1000 Jnr, there is another version of it which is just called PSA1000, which is basically like this Junior, but it's two of, so that unit is stereo. This version is the mono version, which is appropriate for what I'm using it for here. Now, this might seem like a bit of a noob explanation, but what not everybody realizes is that when you're putting a real audio instrument into Cubasis, what you can do is, well, let me explain it like this. If I press play, as you can see here in the inserts, I've got the PSA1000 Jnr and it's activated. So if I just press play, I'll solo it actually. Right, now I can, if I take that off, so that's the sound of the Cigar Box guitar with no effect on it. So in other words, although I've had this preamp here used as an insert when I've recorded the Cigar Box guitar in, it's not actually it's not recorded that sound, it's recorded the clean sound of the instrument. And the ace thing about that is it means that what I'm doing is I'm just using that as a sound for now, and as I go along and I record more instruments in and add to the track, that sound might not be the perfect sound anymore, so I can kind of go into it and adjust it and edit it to make it continue to fit. I hope that makes sense. I think that makes sense. It sort of made sense to me. Right, so let me just show you the PSA1000. Now, as you look at it, and I've only just started using this, and I've got to be honest, as soon as I opened it up, because I thought, you know, I'm making a new track, I've downloaded this thing, I've not used it yet, so I'm going to open it up. It's a chance to give it a go, but if I can't get a good sound out of it straight away, I want to get on with making my video, so I'll use something else. But as soon as I opened it up, it sounded great. Now, this PSA1000 is based on the Sans amp. I mean, Sans amp are known throughout the music industry as the #1 makers of preamps. With good reason. The stuff is ace. It's widely used by loads of musicians, particularly by bass players. But it's used an awful lot for guitar, for keyboards. It's used a lot on drums and all kinds of things. And actually, if you get this app and if you go into the presets that come with it, now unlike some of the other Nembrini apps, it comes with loads of presets, and having a look at these presets, you can see, did I just say presets? You can see some of the things that it can be used on. So we've got presets in here for metal, for that screamy vocal type sound that's quite popular at the moment, all kinds of different bass sounds, including very fuzzy distorted ones, floor tom crunch. You know, we've got all kinds of possibilities in there, so that will give you an idea what it can be used on. Now, my preset here, all it is something that I just dialed in very, very quickly. I've not really messed with it very much yet, but what I've come to gather about it straight, and you know, I'm not going to go into it real deeply now because this is a really cool app, and this is an app that I could see me dedicating a proper video to and explaining in depth and really going into it properly. But just for now, if I just show you, so here is the preamp section. So depending what instrument you're using and how much of it you dial in will affect the front end of this app, just like you were putting it into an actual Sans amp or an actual real life preamp. The buzz, you'll see I've got wound all the way off because the buzz seems to be that kind of like really low end fuzz, that really kind of like bassy fuzz. Don't want any of that on the Cigar Box guitar. Wound that right off. The punch is kind of a middly drive, and I found that if I boosted that, then I was getting like that real kind of like, I imagine this is probably really useful on bass for getting that bass sound that really pokes through. But it was a bit much on the Cigar Box guitar, so I just wound it off a little bit. Crunch is that really kind of bitey overdrive, you know, that if you were trying to get like an AC/DC type sound for a rock band, this is really where it's at. And drive is more like the power amp section, kind of an overdrive sound. And then you've got low and high EQ. Wet and dry is a balance between the sound of the preamp and your clean signal, and an overall level. I mean, it sounds absolutely outstanding. I've saved this sound, so I can actually, I should have thought of this before. Let me just kind of set up a little loop here, and now then, where are we? If I just put this round, maybe round here. Very disorganized of me, this, I'm really sorry. Okay, so loop that round. I'll just have a little tweak while you have a listen. Okay, right, so I'm going to close this video here. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please give me a thumb up, and maybe consider subscribing. Perhaps have a look at my Patreon account and consider becoming a patron. Thank you very much for your support. There will be another video very soon with more development of this track. I'm gonna go into I'm gonna add some more instruments, and I'm gonna show that. And what I'm quite keen, what I'm itching to do is those Noir drums that I put in. I'm itching to kind of really get them EQ'd and maybe add some more apps to you know, get some reverb on, and maybe use a little bit of I don't know, a bit of processing of some kind. We'll see. Who knows what will happen? It's me. So yeah, I'll be doing some stuff about that, and I may do some videos just purely about Cigar Box Guitar, because I've had quite a lot of interest in that. Let me know what you want. Feel free to add me on social media. Feel free to message me. See you soon.